Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is the latest film and book in the Hunger Games franchise, and it might just be my favorite. We see Coriolanus Snow start out as a sweet boy and get corrupted and go insane because of the 10th Hunger Games. In this book, we get an amazing character study of who will one day become President Snow, and the journey to get there is fascinating, and the reverse character arc here is perfect, and I just need to talk about it. Yes, I am wearing a costume. They have revealed one photo of the movie, so Snow didn't have much hair. I don't have much hair. Now this book takes place in a year of the 10th Hunger Games, which is mentored by the children of the capital's wealthiest, which includes Coriolanus Snow. We see all that goes wrong with this Hunger Games and how it turns Snow into the monster we know him as by the time we get to 74th Hunger Games. Now, one of the most notable parts of this book is understanding the capital point of view of the Dark Days or the Civil War or whatever you want to call it. We see that the city is still in ruins 10 years later, and the impacts of the war are still felt with all the food shortages. The capital is purposely reminding the citizens of the war, keeping it fresh in their minds to create a separation. Now, most fascist regimes use basically doublethink when they say that the enemy is strong and powerful, but it's also a lower class to be looked down upon. They show the power of the districts with keeping the rubble of the war throughout the city, but show the weakness of the districts with the Hunger Games. Any child growing up in this environment will be brainwashed into having some sort of hatred for the districts without ever experiencing them, and President Snow, or Coriolanus as he's still known as, is no different. And during the war, both Coriolanus' parents died, and he lost a huge sum of money, making the damage in Coriolanus' head a lot bigger. He has a reason to hate the districts, and will get even more reasons as the book goes along. Already, Snow is scarred for life. He saw horrible things during the war and was forced to grow up, represent his family, even though their political and financial power was fading, needing to put on a show his whole life. His only chance to save his family was to win the Hunger Games, yet he ended up with the girl from District 12. He was under a lot of pressure, and he did what he thought he needed to win, whether it was showing up early to meet his tribute, putting other people's names on homework so they could share credit, or even cheat. Now, this book is told through the first person, and everything we see is through the point of view of Cornelius. The problem is that his vision is shattered. He always convinces himself that what he does is justified, where by the time we get to the end of the book, he seems delusional. It starts to get very hard to judge what is fact and what is opinion when the line starts to get more and more blurred. Because most villains don't see themselves as villains, and throughout the book, we see how he begins to justify deeds which are getting worse and worse until he feels okay trying to kill his girlfriend because he didn't see her for a few minutes. And speaking of his girlfriend, his relationship with Lucy Gray Baird, it's such a big part of the book. Their relationship starts out as business. Snow needs to win, she wants to live, so they work together so she can win. But he quickly sees that she is more than just a piece of property to be controlled. But weirdly, he sees Lucy Gray as his. Multiple times in the book, he acts very possessive of her, calling Lucy his girl, and thinking of her still as a possession, a prize to be won, to be protected instead of a person. It comes off as very creepy, but that's not the only thing of note in coming out of the relationship. He also thinks that to be love is weak after his relationship with her because love made him delusional. He plans on marrying someone who is incapable of feeling love towards, so he cannot be controlled like he claims to be with Lucy. He becomes someone who is so delusional, yet he tries to be so analytical. He will find the smartest decision to make, then justify it in his head by whatever means are necessary, which takes us to some truly dark places like we see in the Hunger Games trilogy. Another important part of his life is Sejanus Plinth. Sejanus is a kid in Coriolanus' class from District 2. He is someone that is still sympathetic to the districts. Although his father says that capital life is better, Sejanus just won't believe it. And in another story, Sejanus would be the protagonist. He comes from an oppressed corner of life, gets the chance to look down on where he came from, but he still remembers it. While living in the highest parts of society, he still wants to help his oppressed brothers. But as Sejanus is associated with Coriolanus, it ends up getting Corio in trouble, and so in the story, Sejanus is framed in a negative light, almost as an antagonist. He is getting in trouble, plotting a jailbreak, and we always see him from the Capitol's point of view, from Coriolanus' point of view. Coriolanus turns Sejanus in, saying it's for his own good, and then returning to the capital and picking off Sejanus' family when he was the one who sent Sejanus to get to get killed. Sejanus is where Coriolanus first gets rid of someone. President Snow is known for poisoning his opposition, and Sejanus is the first person in Coriolanus' way, which is sabotage. It was when Coriolanus really began to lose his morals and become the monster he is known as later in the books. He, the most destructive person to him in his life, is someone who just completely wipes away all of his innocence, and that person is Dr. Gaul. She is one of the most interesting characters that we have seen in the Hunger Games franchise. Now, she is like a more extreme version of the Gale we see in Mockingjay. She is the head game maker who is also a mentor to Coriolanus in the book. She shapes his mind to lose all innocence and to make him into a cold blooded predator. Dr. Gaul just completely brainwashes Snow and crushes his spirit throughout the books. He thinks of her as scary, where just for lying about who did what in a homework assignment, she will set venomous snakes loose on a student. She is a force which is so powerful and maniacal, where it makes Snow look soft. Gaul makes Coriolanus seek control. Throughout the book, she puts Snow through different tests and arenas, so to speak. She makes him helpless, whether it's the arena bombing, entering the Hunger Games, or going to District 12. She tries to get Coriolanus to seek control and to seek power, and make him understand the necessity of the Hunger Games. And after all that he went through in District 12, he makes all the lessons. He stops becoming Coriolanus and becomes the man that is President Snow, thanks to Gaul. That is how they made the helpless little boy at the start of the book, known as Coriolanus Snow, into the President Snow we meet at the end of the Hunger Games. And it is a great journey, but that's all I have to say about it. What do you think about Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the book? And are you excited for the movie? I don't like the other Hunger Games movie, but I'm giving it a chance. And what else about the book do you want me to do you want me to talk about? And just what other Hunger Games things do you want me to talk about? If you want to see my video about why Mockingjay isn't so good, click on this video. It's a long one, but I think you'll enjoy it. Make sure to subscribe to see more videos about the Hunger Games, other books, stuff like that. Thanks for watching. I've been Fictional Fanatics, and until the next one, bye.